At 43, she has Grammys, a hit talk show, a Vegas stage, and a voice that can stop time. But what heartbreaking secret lies behind Kelly Clarkson's dazzling success? I'm Sarah Reed, and this is Golden American Legends. I grew up loving the greats, and Kelly belongs right there with them. She won the very first American Idol back in 2002. She gave us anthems like Since You've Been Gone and Behind These Hazel Eyes. She built a career on power and heart. On paper, it looks perfect, but the truth behind the lights is not simple. I dug through old interviews, official statements, charts, and award records to trace how this superstar kept showing up while carrying pain most of us never saw. Kelly has always been open, honest, a little goofy, and very real. That's part of why we love her, and it's also why this story hits hard. There were hospital stays, there was a divorce that broke her, and there was a loss no family should face. If you're here for careful, human stories, tap like so more people can find this one. Kelly's path proves that even the brightest voice can be singing through tears. And now, we follow that voice from the first big win to the darkest nights and the fight to heal. Let's rewind to the spark. In 2002, a young singer from Texas walked onto American Idol and changed TV and pop music in one season. Kelly Clarkson won it all. Her first big single, A Moment Like This, shot up the charts. Then came the run, Breakaway, Stronger, and, of course, Since You've Been Gone. People once summed it up well. Since winning that first season in 2002, Kelly carved a reputation as one of pop's fiercest voices. She didn't just sing, she soared. I checked the charts and the award books to be sure. The numbers match the hype. Multiple multi-platinum albums, radio domination, 3 Grammys along the way, a powerhouse voice, a quick laugh, and a stage presence that felt like home for millions of fans. She moved from the studio to the screen too, hosting her own talk show with the same warm, real energy. From the outside, it looked like a dream running on full speed. Fame, success, and the next big show always on the calendar. But fame doesn't stop life from being life. Even as the cheers grew, trouble was brewing off stage. The next chapter brings love, family, and the quiet cracks that begin to show when the spotlight fades and the doors close. Picture it, October 2013, a country pop love story. Kelly married Brandon Blackstock, a veteran music manager and Reba Mattire's stepson. Nashville roots met pop power, and the photos glowed. Soon after, their family grew. River Rose arrived in 2014. Remington, known as Remy, followed in 2016. 2 kids, a busy home, and a mom who still hit the high notes on stage. I went back through wedding write-ups, industry profiles, and family interviews to map those years. Brandon was well known in country circles. Kelly was crossing genres and building a talk show future. Together, they looked like a steady team, a rare kind of normal in a not-so-normal business. The image mattered because Kelly wanted simple joys, school runs, movie nights, and music when it fit. From the front row, it felt like a fairy tale with a real kitchen and scattered toys on the floor. But family life can hold both joy and ache at the same time. And behind those happy baby photos was a truth Kelly only shared much later. Motherhood brought love beyond words. It also brought a level of physical pain that pushed her to the edge. That hidden fight is where the shine started to dim. I have been pregnant twice, hospitalized both times. Those are Kelly's words, spoken through tears on her own show in 2024. She described severe, all-day sickness that needed IV fluids, and then came the line that stopped me cold. I asked God to just take me and my son. It's the worst thing. She made clear she adores her children. She also made clear the pain was brutal. I love my babies, she said, but it feels cruel to make someone go through that. I watched the full, uncut April 2024 interview again and again. You can see her hands shake. You hear the breath catch before each sentence. This wasn't a headline. This was a person remembering a hospital room and the fear that filled it. Think of what it means to carry that history into every school drop-off and bedtime story and still show up on stage with a smile and a song. Kelly's honesty here matters. It tells us the happy years were complicated. Joy and trauma lived side by side. She kept going anyway. But the wait didn't end with childbirth. Life was about to pull her into a different kind of storm, one that would break her heart and force her to rebuild from the ground up. Divorce isn't a clean cut. It's a slow tear. Kelly filed in 2020, and the split was finalized in 2022. In the middle of a pandemic with 2 young kids, the pain ran deep. She later told people that the level of depression and things that come with divorce is extraordinarily hard. That's her voice, not a headline. She felt alone. She felt the floor move. I revisited those interviews to hear the tone, not just the words. You can tell she was trying to stay strong for River and Remy while setting new rules for herself. Therapy helped, time helped, but what helped most was the tool she's had since that first Idol stage, her music. When a life breaks, you reach for something to hold. For Kelly, that meant melodies, lyrics, late nights in a studio, and the courage to say what actually happened. She didn't pretend. She didn't gloss it over. She turned raw feelings into sound and let us in. All of that work led to a new chapter. She was ready to tell the story on her terms, not as gossip, but as art. And the album she made next would be a map out of the dark. It would also be a message to herself. I'm still here. Music became the lifeline. In 2023, Kelly released Chemistry, a project built from the fallout and the healing. She said that putting it out into the world felt like taking my power back. Song by song, she traced the hurt, the doubt, the anger, and the grace you find when you choose to move forward. It wasn't tidy, it was true. I combed through the album press notes and her interviews around release week. She talked about delving into what happened in my life and why, and you can hear it. The record isn't just about an ending, it's about the long middle where you learn to be okay again. Critics heard it too. Chemistry earned a 2024 Grammy nomination for Best Pop Vocal Album. The same voice that won Idol now told a grown-up story about heartbreak and hope. But art doesn't freeze time. While Kelly rebuilt with her pen and her mic, another, quieter battle was unfolding elsewhere. It wasn't her fight, but it would change her family forever. The news would arrive like a shockwave, and in 1 week in August, the world finally learned what some in the family had been carrying for years. Then came the secret no one saw. After the divorce, Brandon Blackstock had been fighting melanoma, a serious skin cancer, for more than 3 years. The family kept it private. In early August 2025, that private battle reached the public in the worst possible way. A family statement said he had bravely battled cancer for more than 3 years, and that he passed away peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. He was 48. I checked the official statements and network reports to build the timeline carefully. The dates line up. A quiet diagnosis around 2022, a brave fight, and finally, goodbye on August 7th, 2025. This is the kind of pain that bends time for a family. It also makes every decision after that moment crystal clear. If careful, compassionate storytelling matters to you, please subscribe. It helps me keep doing the research and telling these stories with care. Kelly's next move showed exactly who she is, a mother first. Hours before the news broke, she'd already chosen family over work. She put down the microphone and turned toward her kids. The stage lights dimmed, the living room lights came on, and everything else could wait. On August 6, 2025, Kelly hit post. She told fans she was postponing the rest of her August Las Vegas dates to focus on her children during a family health crisis. Her message was simple and strong. While I normally keep my personal life private, my children's father has been ill. I need to be fully present for them. I pulled her statements from the news sites to confirm every word. She didn't frame it as drama. She framed it as love. The next day, the news confirmed the loss. Brandon was gone. In one breath, the pause made sense. A career can wait. Childhood cannot. Kelly's choice resonated with so many parents. She didn't try to be superhuman. She did the normal, holy thing. She stayed home and held her kids close. River was 10, Remy was 8. They needed their mom more than her audience needed a show. That week, the headlines followed, and the industry adjusted. But inside her home, the focus was small and steady. Meals, rest, hugs, and quiet. Then, when the time was right, the next chapter would start. Not with noise, with a plan to keep her family safe and moving forward, one day at a time. Before that awful week, Kelly had already made a bold change for her family. In 2023, she moved from Los Angeles to New York City and relocated her talk show there. She said the shift was exactly what she needed. New city, new pace, new school routines, a chance to build a home that felt grounded. I read through her recent interview clips about the move and her parenting rhythms. She talked about therapy, about giving the kids structure, about simple joy, homework at the table, walks to the park, movie nights with the volume just right. She wanted a life that didn't feel like a backstage hallway. By early 2024, she was saying the kids were thriving. That word matters, thriving. It means the hard days didn't swallow the good ones. It means the plan was working. The loss in 2025 didn't erase that work. It made it more important. New York gave her a base, and the base held. With that foundation set, she could start to look at the calendar again, carefully, gently. The goal wasn't to bounce back, it was to carry on. And that is exactly what she did next, on stage, on camera, and with her heart wide open. Resilience isn't loud, it shows up steady and kind. Kelly kept hosting the Kelly Clarkson Show from her New York studio. She kept singing too. The August residency dates paused, but plans shifted to the fall with new Las Vegas dates listed for November. The work didn't vanish, it waited for the right time. Let's not forget the art that got her here. Chemistry earned a 2024 Grammy nomination for Best Pop Vocal Album. The songs that helped her heal also helped fans feel seen. And Kelly kept using her platform with real purpose. In 2024, she sat with Hillary Clinton to talk about women's health and pregnancy struggles. Clinton told her she was speaking for literally millions of women. That's bigger than a chart position. That's impact. I tracked her posts, the show releases, and the updated schedules to see how she balances it all. The most magical moment still might be from 2023, when River and Remy joined her on the Vegas stage for a surprise. She said seeing their faces light up felt unreal. A mom, a star, a survivor, all the roles at once. And still, one clear message: keep going. Here's what I see in Kelly's story. It's a classic arc of a modern hero. A rise, a fall, a fight to rebuild, and a new kind of strength. She told her kids once that performing with them felt like they were watching Spider-Man. That little moment says a lot. To them, she's larger than life. To us, she's human, and that's the power. Her honesty about pregnancy hospitalizations, depression after divorce, and grief after loss gives others language for their own pain. When Hillary Clinton told her she was speaking for millions, it wasn't flattery, it was truth. Kelly shows that success doesn't shield you from hurt, but courage grows when you face it head on, ask for help, and keep making something beautiful. I went back through interviews, statements, performances, and old press to make sure we told this right. What emerges is not a gossip story, it's a life story. A mother who chose her kids, an artist who chose truth, a woman who chose to keep walking. Hold on to that picture as we close. The lights are bright again, the voice is strong, and the heart behind it all is still learning, still loving, still here. Kelly Clarkson at 43 reminds me why I love telling these stories. Immense talent doesn't block heartbreak, but honesty, family, and art can turn pain into purpose. She won Idol, built a career, loved her kids, faced illness and loss in the family, and kept going with grace. That's not a headline. That's a legacy in progress. This has been Golden American Legends, and I'm Sarah Reed. If this journey moved you, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear from you. What part of Kelly's story moved you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me who you'd like me to explore next in a future deep dive. Everything you heard today comes from careful research across interviews, news archives, and official statements. We do the digging so you can feel the full story, not just the headline. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you in the next one.